that cared about me and that wanted me around, that kept me pushing like, okay, I am loved. So yes, she is a big player in my life. I never told her this before. But anyway, yeah. I believe not what I was told, but what I have experienced. And when I look back on my experiences, even though like some of them were very, very, very hard to endure, and at the time I'm thinking, how can I endure it? I look back at it now and I'm like, I'm grateful for those moments because it taught me something valuable. It taught me to look deeper into life. It taught me that me personally, my savior is not outside of myself. I go inward to find the answer, not outward. I go inward. The answer may come from an outward source, but I go inward because inward is how God communicates with me. Inward is where I can find that sanctuary to speak to God with no distractions at all. Inward. I've got a lot of criticism about, church. Like I said, I grew up in a strong Christian background and the church was everything. But it's like, you can go to church every Sunday, every day. But what are you going there for? Are you going there? Think about it. What do you go to church for? A lot of people, what I've observed, is they go to church because they're afraid of so-called hell. I don't know about you, but fire, from the doctrines, fire is very physical. So how is our non-physical selves gonna feel fire? I don't get it. Fire is something that will burn my finger, my physical finger. But if I die and I'm pure spirit, that fire is not gonna touch me. But at the same time, this is what motivates people to go to church. And I'm like, I don't want to go to church because I'm afraid to go to hell. That's not me truly believing in God. That's not me truly embracing God. That's me just being in fear, going to church out of fear. Or you got a lot of people that go through something hard and they feel like they need a savior, so they go to church. I don't knock them, but it's not me. And because I've learned that about myself, like I said, my church is inward. I go to church all the time. And because I am not a physical being, I'm a spiritual being in this physical body, I choose to go to my spiritual church, which is inside. And I can shun for that because why? A lack of understanding. And what I also realized was a lot of the times people didn't want to understand. They didn't want to listen. They didn't want to hear me out. They wanted to be right. They wanted to be right. And it's really an ego thing. To be wrong, that means you have to hold yourself accountable and really look deep into yourself and be like, okay, what is the issue? What is the real issue? People don't want to do that. Ignorance is bliss. You look inward, you're going to face a lot of truths. You're going to face a lot of truths about life, a lot of truths about yourself. Do you, like you personally, when you look into the mirror or you alone and you just thinking, is there not thoughts that just pop up, or revelations more so? I'm gonna just say revelations that you gain about yourself that you don't like. Yes. A lot of people run from that. A lot of people are afraid to be left alone with their thoughts. Because a lot of these thoughts aren't even really thoughts. It's
the reality.
The reality. She's smart. She's smart. She knows her stuff. She knows what she's talking about. Like, what you guys see about it?
What I have to say about it, like the thoughts that pop up in your head when you look at yourself.
Like, just facing yourself, facing the truth.
It's a hard thing to do if you know that you have like a dark side to you, because like you don't never want the dark stuff to come to the light because it's gonna be hard to deal with. And honestly, I have some things that when I look in the mirror, I think about myself, and I just cry because ain't nothing I can really do about it.
Keep on talking. Well, okay, she want me to take the mic. Well, you know what? I'm gonna just give you this bug in your ear. I agree. There's a lot of everybody has that darkness. First of all, there is no light without darkness. There is no darkness without light. It's yin and yang. They're one and two. I said that wrong. They're two and one. Like, they work together. First of all, the only reason why you catching this darkness right here is because the light is shining. That's the only reason why you catching that. Or the only reason why you can see that light is because this darkness. It works together. So the fact that, our human selves, like we hide from the darkest parts of ourselves when those are the parts that is going to cause you to grow. Those are the parts that's going to cause you to grow. Because when you are facing your darkness, your inner demons, your ego, your everything about you that you done cast in the shadows, your shadow self, it's called shadow work. When you are facing that, you are facing the biggest challenges in your life. And that's why a lot of people avoid it. They don't want to do the work of growth. They hide behind religion. They hide behind these saviors. I don't discredit religion at all. I'm just saying it's not me. It's not where I belong. It's not what I believe in. And I've personally known people that have found themselves in religion. So no, I'm not speaking against religion at all. But I'm saying the reality is a lot of people are hiding behind it versus actually embracing it. So no, I was told to go to church because that's where I should be. And I'm like, why? Oh, you don't want to question God? No, give me a real reason why I should be in church, and maybe I will go. I wouldn't get no real reason. Why should I go if you can't even tell me why I should be here? Like, like, come on. And that's also with some of these, like, a lot of what I grew up to believe, which I had to retrain my mind, reteach myself. I'm telling you, spirit has like my butt because I was still so stuck in this, what I was taught to know, and it was going against what resonated with my spirit. So spirit was like, no, no, that's not what we're not believing that, honey. No, Like, I was taught a lot of fear. I was taught to go to church because I should fear not going to church. And I'm like, that's not a good enough reason for me to go. Until you give me a reason. Until you give me a reason. I would go. And first of all, another thing was, like I said, these beliefs and stuff. Like, I was being taught to believe certain things, and I'm like, why should I believe this? Don't tell me to believe something that's gonna shape my life, the way I live my life, that's gonna shape my reality, and you can't tell me why. No, like, you know, I wouldn't accept certain things, because I'm like, here I am asking you a question, you tell me that I shouldn't question God. No, that's not a good enough reason why I should believe this. I'm pretty sure God will want me to know. I'm not pretty sure. I know God will want me to know. That's the whole reason of living, to grow and to learn. So you telling me not to question God? No, it's because you don't even know why I should believe. So no, I'm not about to sit here and believe what I've been taught. If anything, I'm gonna let life teach me. I'm gonna let God, I'm gonna let Spirit lead me into being taught life lessons, not by man, because man was beat into believing certain things. Come on now, like, you already know. They like, you don't go to church, I'm gonna whoop your ass. They be like, if you don't believe this, I'm gonna beat your ass. Like, what? What? And just because my mind don't want to grasp onto this concept that you can't even explain to me, that's why you want to beat me right now? Like, okay, no, just because of that, no, beat me. I don't care. I'm still not gonna believe. But yeah, that was me. Like, even with, like, it's a lot. You know what? This topic, this is a long video. I might have to break it up in half or do part 3 or something, because I can go on and on about this subject. Like, I'm telling you, it's a lot. You know what? You know, and this is the content that I will be posting on this page. So expect a lot of my unpopular opinions. But anyway, yeah, like, if I gotta be beat into believing something, no, that's not genuine. That's fear. And you telling me that I should live my life based off of fear, when you sit here being a hypocrite and you teaching about love and you preaching love and stuff. How is you expressing love right now? You expressing fear. And that's what I've noticed happening in a lot of churches. Literally, I can count, it's 2 churches I've ever been to. Like I said, I grew up in a strong Christian, strict Christian background. I done been to I don't know how many churches. I can't count. Go to 3 churches in one day. Like, I'm telling you, I cannot count how many churches I've been to. Go to 3 churches in one day, and then Wednesday I gotta go to church and Bible study, and then a night study class, and then Thursday there's a little preaching, and then Saturday there's Bible school, and then Sunday there's morning school, afternoon church, and night church, and all of this churching. And tell me, why is it that every time I step foot into those churches, I'm like, all you telling me is this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is evil, and this is not of God, and this is abomination, all of this stuff. Okay, tell me about God. How about that? Tell me about God. Can you do that? Like, I want to learn about God. I want to learn about, I want to grow. I want to know more. You're not feeding me that. You feeding me what's wrong and judgment and all this judgment. Judgment. That's all it is. It's two churches I've literally been to that actually spoke. They wasn't preaching. They spoke a word that could help me, that did help me. I remember it clear as day. It's something I can remember. I can actually quote the main message that was being spoke of when I was in Tennessee. It was a church I went to, and I only went to it once. Um, it was like a church that I ran up on, and it was like, break up with your insecurities. Basically saying how you are not your insecurities. Your insecurities are parts of you. I just contradicted myself. I'm not gonna say you are not your insecurities. Your insecurities are parts of you that you have casted away. Basically, make peace with them. And when I mean break up with your insecurities, what was being spoken was make peace with your insecurities and learn how to transform them. When you break up with a person, the ultimate goal is to make peace with them. Forgive them. Forgive yourself. And learn how to use that experience as something to apply to your life. As growth. So when you're breaking up with your insecurities, you are making peace with aspects of yourself that you casted away, that you shunned, that you hated. You're making peace with that. And you're saying, you know what? I'm going to utilize this for my growth. This aspect of me for my growth. That was what was being spoke of. I forgot the other message, but it was something, it was non-biased. Like I said, out of my whole life, out of all the churches that I've been to, only twice have I been to a church that really spoke truth. And that's it. And here I'm being forced to go to church just to be told that I am wrong, I am an abomination. It was like, especially when I started learning myself and learning more about God on my own, it was almost like rocks was being thrown at me. Because instead of being taught about God, I was being taught what was wrong. What was wrong with the next person, next religion. No, that's judgment. I don't want to go to church just to hear judgment. I can hear that at home. I can go to the media and like receive all kind of judgment from people. Like, come on now. I can go under a video in the comments and post my little unpopular opinion and have a lot of people come at me and judge me and stuff. Like, no, if I wanted to be judged, I can go anywhere else except for a place where I'm being brainwashed for like 4 hours telling me that I'm wrong for doing this and this and this and this and this and this, and that this religion is wrong and that religion is wrong. No, tell me about God. But I told Jayla that this video is gonna be kind of like everywhere. Because, like, come on, you're talking about spirituality. Like, it's such a broad topic. So I can go another hour, but I'm not gonna do that. But I'm about to shut my mouth. Like I said, it's a lot that I still can say. It's a lot that I still want to touch bases on. There's a lot that I'm going to touch bases on throughout the course of my channel. So, you got any words? You got anything that's on your mind you want to share? You sure? You gotta say something, because I'm gonna feel bad. I'm gonna be like, I'm talking too much.
I'm not really a talkative person, so it's good that you took the mic.
That's gonna change. I'm telling you, the more she grows into who she is, she gonna be like, y'all, guess what? This is what I done discovered. Blase, blase, blah. Da 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 da. Like I'm telling you. But anyway, y'all know how it is. Ciao.